Namaskara. Welcome to Ahara, Aryogya, Aadhayatma, the light of samskara. Wish you all a happy Ganesh Chaturthi. And today we have none other than Pramod Nataraj, who is a brilliant academic career, a gold medalist, software engineer, started his career as an engineer in Sony India Private Limited, but his passion is for Adhyatma. And hence he has become a great orator and a preacher also. And more than anything, he has dedicated all his life for building the nation through the value-based education and showing the direction and the vision to the younger generation. So he is striving very hard to get through this Youth for Seva and Disha Bharat. And apart from that, he is literally following the footsteps of Vivekananda. Vivekananda said, the one who lives for others is the one who lives for himself. The one who lives for himself is not his living. And that's why, Pramod has dedicated his life towards the society and uplifting and giving the direction and vision and mission to the younger generation. Welcome, Pramodji. It's a pleasure to have you.
Very happy and pleasure to be in such a great platform discussing about the greatness of Ganesha. So I first heartily wish everyone a very happy Gouri and Ganesha festival. Let us not just bring the idols to our home. Let us bring the ideals that carry the Gouri and Ganesha to our hearts.
Great. Ganesha is known as Ganapati, Vinayaka, Vigneshwara, Gajanana, Ekadanta, Gajamukha, Sumukha, Lambodara, Balachandra, Buddhinatha, Gauri Sutta, Gauri Putra, everything. Those days, the children used to be named after the mother. And that's how he's called as a Gauri Putra, because she herself created him. And when I have gone to the Gauri Kunda, I have seen, while going to Manasa or Kailas Parvata, I have seen. And, this is the day when Shiva tells Ganesha to bring Parvati from her native place to this Kailas Parvata. And since then, we have been doing Ganesha Puja because he's the first Prathama Puja. But what are the methods of doing puja and what are the various views that people have to? Is it just getting the Ganesha and then drowning is enough, or something else is important?
That's wonderful. That's a wonderful question. As you mentioned, Ganesha has, in our tradition, each and every god has thousands and lakhs of namas. And each our names are also somewhere connected to the divine, so that we also remember the divinity within. That was the concept that India had.
Yes.
When it comes to Ganesha or Ganapati, the word itself says Gana plus Isha. Gana is the group. Isha is the ruler. So when we say Ganesha or Ganapati, what are we meaning? The Gana, the group, can be symbolized like the Shiva Ganas, the 11 Shiva Ganas that they have. And he is the Adhipati, the ruler of all the Shiva Ganas. If we consider like this, Ganesha becomes yet another deity. The second is much more important. Gana means the Panchabhutas, the cosmic elements. If we take in that aspect, Gana is the Panchabhutas, and each of that becomes the Ishvara, the Lord, Supreme Lord himself. Once we understand Gana as the Indriyas and the Manas, the senses and the mind, then we get to know the Antaryami, the indweller consciousness is Ganesha.
Inside.
So if we understand in different ways what Ganesha stands for, then we will start worshipping not just as a deity or the first person whom we should worship just to stop the obstacles in our way, but we go to a next extent where we worship him not just as a deity, but as Ishvara and Antaryami himself. So the tradition has given different range of sadhanas and different range of use. It depends on our maturity to go through it, grow through it, without criticizing any, but grow through it.
Yeah, so wonderful. Very nice. Truly. And, if you look at the whole world, there is no other time where mother and the son are worshipped together. And that's why we call Gouri Ganesha. Gauri is mother, Ganesha is son, together. And Gauri stands for Parmeshwari, Jaganmate, and there, Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti. These are important in the Lalita Sahasranama we read. And Ganapati, Siddhi, Buddhi, Vidhi, everything is there. So when you take these 6 virtues, and they are the ones which lead us and make us the sadhakas and make us live a very beautiful and sarthaka life. So what do you say, and what is the message that you want to give to the younger generation who are playing the DJ music and dancing and drinking when they are doing the festival? It's so ridiculous that we have degenerated. So I think the younger generation have to learn from you.
That's wonderful. That's a wonderful question, which is relevant as well as ancient. That's what we call as Purana. Beyond that, as Amma told, in the whole world, if there is any tradition where women is worshipped, it is India and India alone. Bharatiya Sanatana Dharma, nowhere else.
Matra
And
Devo
beyond
Bhava.
that, exactly. And Jagannatha and Adishakti, everything, Ardhanarishwara Tattva, everything we see, even when Vivekananda was asked, who is Sita? He says, anything noble, anything divine, anything pure, we call it Sita. In our country, everything, starting from Bharat, Bharat Mata, Go Mata, Gita, Gita Mata, Veda, Veda Mata, everything is divine, that too
Mata.
feminine, because we consider
Yes.
that kind of compassion from each of these things. And when Tilak organized this, conceptualized this concept of Samuhika Ganesh Chaturthi, where he wanted to bring all the youths together to think about nation, to think about sustaining Indian culture, that worked at that time. But if
And
we
also
see
attain
today,
the Swatantra, to get independence
yeah,
through the divinity.
through the divinity, that is what is important. And that was working that day. But if we see today's orchestras, where they play all kinds of item songs, and they say we are doing Ganesh Chaturthi, it becomes ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Youth are having so much of strength, energy, potential. But if we don't give them the right direction, India will be at a loss.
Yes.
Where are we heading? So we just have to give them a direction, tap their potential so that it becomes a mode of worship of Bharat Mata, which Vivekananda, which
I
Tilak
think they have
envisioned.
to change their attitude, It is said,
Exactly.
if you change our attitude and the drishtikona, drishya changes, So
Perfect.
unless the
Drishti
youth
Yantre
change
Srishti.
their, yeah. Unless the youth, they change their attitude, I don't think there is any hope for the country, because the youth should not become hopeless. They should become hope of the country. Yeah.
Definitely. And to create that hope also, when they are just celebrating, when they're bringing huge idols of Ganesha, if they see Ganesha idol itself, they can learn quite a number of lessons.
Yes.
If they see a big head, they should think big.
Think big.
When they
Yeah.
see two big ears, they should listen more.
Yeah.
Small mouth, speak less, listen more. This is what the basics of communication is.
Yes.
And Tikshna Drishti, which shows the
Very
concentration, which
smart.
today's youth
Yeah.
are getting distracted.
Yes.
And a big tummy, stomach, which shows the adaptability and taking anything, experiences in life, whether it is
Adjustability.
bad or good. Today we see so much of people going through depression, suicidal tendency. Why they are not able
Yes.
to take that, digest those experiences?
And they are not
And
able to adapt to the society and the surrounding.
exactly, definitely. And even the small mouse, that shows it is something like the desire.
Yeah.
If you don't master it, it becomes a distraction. If you master it,
Yes.
you can climb on it and move through towards the life. So that is the
Wonderful.
way. If we see Ganesha idol itself, we can learn a lot of things. But if you see the few leelas or few stories that are attached, today's youth, you ask, what about parents? They say, who are they? I'm going out of my country and I'm sending my parents to old age homes. But once
Yes.
you see Ganesha's story, where when there was a competition between Ganesha and Subramanya, and Ganesha told the whole world is nothing but Parvati Parameshwara.
Parameshwara. Yeah.
This is the kind of
Yeah.
attitude that we need to carry.
Yes.
And more than that, when once there comes a story when Ganesha was playing with some cat and he scratched it, and when he comes back, he sees his mother, Devi, Gauri, she was having a scratch on her face. And he innocently asks, how is it? And Jagannatha says, in everything I am there.
Yeah.
Yadevi Sarvabhuteshu Matrarupena Samsthita. I'm there in everything. If you do anything harm to anything in the whole world, it affects me. That day, the Drishtikona, as you mentioned, the vision changes. The vision of oneness comes. And if we can understand this, the society will not be a place of exploitation. The society will be a place of contribution.
Yeah,
If
she's
we can
not
do those
only
kind of things,
Matru Rupena, she's the Shakti Rupena, Kanti Rupena, Daya
definitely.
Rupena, Kshama
Exactly.
Rupena. All the virtues are there. And that, we have to imbibe, because we are the Swarupa of Jagannatha herself and Paramatma.
Exactly.
And that's a very wonderful thing, because nowadays people are dividing themselves, their mind is divided, the house is divided, and they each one, in the ego, they are dividing everything and destroying everything. So in such a situation, I think this Gouri Ganesha, they come to teach us how to live together and how to see divinity in the whole world. And that is so wonderful. So, do you think that just this tradition of bringing Ganapati and immersing is enough, or we have to think beyond that? What do you think?
Even the tradition has a great value there. Just many a times we think we have to bring Ganesha idol and we worship for 1 day or 3 days or 5 days or 10 days. Then we go and do Visarjana, immerse in water and come out. But here comes the greatest philosophical concept where many people ask whether God is with form or without form. I have a doubt. But if you go to the Vedas, if you go to the Upanishads, it says God is formless. Nirakara, Nirguna, Nirvishaya,
Niranjana
Nirvikalpa,
Swarupa.
all
Niranjana
things
Swarupa.
attributeless.
Yes,
But
yes.
can, can exactly can everyone comprehend, understand, assimilate it in the first stage itself? Never possible. That's why the tradition has given a tool or a method to go through how Ganesha idol, it's through the clay, which is formless. Then we give a form of our own idol. Then we come, we bring, and we do the prana pratishthavana, and there also there comes a message where Shivo bhutva Shivam yajit. You become Shiva and then worship Shiva. That's what it says. Deho devalaya prokto, jivo deva sanatanaha, tyajet ajnana nirmalyam, soham bhavena pujayet. I should become like that. I should become the embodiment of Ishvara, Ganapati, and then worship. Then for the next 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, I perform worship in puja. I do aradhana, I do upasana. I comprehend the understanding of what Ishvara is for 3 days, 5 days, 10 days. Then the mind gets prepared. Then we don't throw the Ganesha idol. We go with respect, reverence, we immerse in that so that form again becomes formless. The formless became form just for our upasana sake, and I willingly, consciously, deliberately send it back to formless so that I can comprehend the bigger thing. This is what Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa also says.
Yes,
Water is formless, but because of the coolness, it becomes iceberg. But when the Jnana Surya arises on the wake of sun, again it becomes water. So this is the philosophy of bringing the idol, worshipping, and doing the Visarjana. If we can understand the concept of this, then many people in many religions who say you worship this idol, that idol, then we can understand and we can even argue with them. Not just argue, convince them what the philosophy stands for.
Yeah, I perfectly agree with you because the idol worship or having something conceiving in a form of statue, nirguna or guna, that is like a primary school. Every child has to do the handwriting and go on repeating, writing and doing the pradakshina, doing and a Ganesh Namaskara. That is all there. But when you evolve and do your PhD, and you become a sadhaka, you have the nirguna, nirakara, niranjana swarupa, and that is, universal truth. And that is what we have to realize. And today, what has happened is, the Sanatana Dharma is so wonderful. It has given option for everyone for everything. You may belong in Nastika, Astika, whatever it is, everyone can be imbibed into this Sanatana Dharma. And that is the beauty. And here, when we say that Nastika Astika, as someone who says that he doesn't believe in idol worshipping, they are believing in themselves that Jivatma is also Paramatma's Amsha. So then he becomes Astika also. So ultimately, we are all the seekers, and what is important is we have to love everyone, love the nature, and that is important. But unfortunately, today they are going for the plastic or the plaster of Paris Ganesha or imported from China with all chemicals which are very dangerous for the whole environment. And I think that is not a correct thing. What do you say about it?
Definitely, definitely. When it comes to any puja, any tradition, it is not just bringing from a store. The bhava that you put while preparing it, that matters a lot.
Yes.
It is not that how much big Ganesha you brought, how much money you spent. It is about how much of bhava you have put. That's what Krishna even says in Gita. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachyate.
Correct.
It is not what you give, it is how you give that matters. So whether you're bringing from different country, different nations, different cultures, that is not the thing. The aspect of festival in Indian culture, Bharatiya Sanatana Dharma also is making the society sustainable.
Yes.
Just imagine, just today is a festival day. You go and bring vegetables from a vegetable vendor, fruits from a fruit vendor, then flowers from a flower vendor. Everyone are getting their income.
Yes.
And by
Yeah.
that, the economy of the country is getting regenerated. You know that
Correct.
the flower is not going to last for long, but still you bring it. Though it's a tradition, we are contributing for the national well-being. It is not just a quote that Atmanirbhar Bharat. In every aspect, we should become that Atmanirbharata, where we should think global but act local. That is what is it.
Correct. Absolutely fine. And not only that, never use something which has got bad chemicals which are harmful, which is going to spoil our water body as well as the earth. Because the Panchabhutas are the essential for our sustainability, and we have to protect everything around us.
Perfect.
So, what are the stotras about Ganapati? I mean, everybody has made such stotras, but can you quote some?
Yes. When it comes to the stotras or stutis of Ganapati, everyone does, as you have mentioned, because he's the Prathama Devata, Pramatha Devata. Everyone starts with that. Even Purandaradasa.
Any function, anything, we start with that. Yes.
Even the Carnatic music starts with Lambodara Lakumikara. So it starts with Ganesha Vandana. But when we see the tradition, how many stotras are there? But what comes to the closest to my heart? The first is Atharva Shirisha, which comes in the Upanishad itself. Ganesha Atharva Shirisha, Atharva Veda, where he is not seen just as a deity, but he is seen as the reality. Tvam Tattvamasi. He is Tattvam.
Yes.
He is Kartasi, he is Dhartasi, he is everything. So Ganesha Atharva Shirsha is the first, we can see the greatest composition. And it is not a composition of any person, but it is a revelation of the Rishi. Then comes a lot of people who give their contribution towards this Stotra Sahitya on Ganesha. But I would take some 2 or 3 from Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya.
Yes.
Adi Shankaracharya has written many stotras, one of which is Ganesha Stuti, where he says, Ajam nirvikalpam nirakaram ekam niranandam anandam advaita purvam param nirgunam nirvishesham niriham parabrahma rupam Ganesham bhajema. So this is the way Shankaracharya looks at Ganesha, not just as a deity, but Parabrahman itself. Parabrahma itself, nowhere less. But if we are not able to comprehend that great, Shankaracharya has written one more shloka as Ganesha Pancharatnam, where he has brought the concepts of Purana, Itihasa, Upanishads and Veda together. Where he has given the 5 shlokas in a way, and that too the chandas that has been used is like a walking elephant. That is the greatness. Mudakaratta modakam, sada vimukti sadhakam, kaladharavatamsakam, vilasilokarakshakam, anayakaikanayakam, vinashite bhadaityakam, natashu bhashu nashakam, namamitam vinayakam. If you see each and every word, letter, it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. It moves like an elephant. Why? Because he's dedicating it to Ganesha, Gajapati. And if we see this itself, the stuti, we can comprehend many things. Muda karatta modakam. Kara atta modakam. On the hand, he has the modaka. This is the basic thing that we have. But if you go deep to it, muda karatta modakam. Modaka. The word modaka is like nartaka, gayaka. Similarly, modaka is modam dadati iti modakam. The one who can give happiness, ultimate happiness, Ananda, Brahmananda, the one who can give the happiness is Mudakaratta Modakam, Ganesha. Sada Vimukti Sadhakam. He's not there to give us all kinds of desires and make us fulfill. Nothing like that. Sada Vimukti Sadhakam. He is the Lord, gives us moksha through Guru Shastra Upadesha. Kaladhara Vatamsakam. This is what we should understand even for the youth. Kaladhara is Shiva. Avatamsakam is ornament. Who is an ornament for Shiva? Means a person should be an ornament for the family. That is what is important. He should never leave the family. The one more meaning of Kaladhara Vatamsakam is, Kaladhara is the Chandra, who has the ornament as Chandra. Chandra or moon is connected to mind. Most of us have a lot of problems because of mind. But for Ganesha, it is an ornament. He knows mind management techniques.
Correct.
Vilasi Lokarakshakam. Vilasi Lokarakshakam means how he creates this world, how he sustains this world, how he takes back this world. It is through Vilasa. Lokavattu Leela Kaivalyam. This is what Brahma Sutra says. He says, it is just by Vilasa. It's my play. He does it like that. Anaya Kaikanayakam. Just like in any of the Srinivasa or Vishnu, we say Anathanatha Sarvagnya, Anayakaika Nayakam. Those who don't have the Nayaka, he is the Nayaka. He will lead you to the right place for those who don't have anyone. Vinashitebha Daityakam, who destroys the Daitya, the Asuras within us. Here, the Daitya is also Ibha, means pride, the elephant-like pride. He removes that. Nakashu Bhashu Nashakam, meaning for whoever who surrenders to him with devotion, he brings the auspiciousness. Finally, Namami Tam Vinayakam. I prostrate to that Vinayaka. Vinayaka is Vishesha Nayaka. The second is Vigata Nayaka. Those for the one who doesn't have any more Nayakas. He is the greatest of the greatest. If we see in this context, he brings the Puranic aspect, he brings the Itihasa aspect, he brings the Loka Rudhi tradition, he brings the Upanishadic aspect. In one shloka, he brings all these aspects. That's why the concept of Ganesha Pancharatna stands apart from anything. If you want to see all the 5 shlokas, it is in our channel.
I think today we need Shankaracharya, his teachings, and apart from that, all of us, the whole country, should unite and do the Vinayaka Puja, so that the Vigna that is hovering on our country can be taken away. And it was so wonderful talking to you. My pleasure. Thank you very much. Dhanyavad, Pranam, and wish you all a very happy Ganesh Chaturthi.
Thanks for the opportunity.